Hey guys, welcome back to Ride and Repair. So today we're gonna change the wheel bearing on the CFMOTO CForce 520L. We're gonna walk through the process and I'm gonna show you how to diagnose a bad wheel bearing. So diagnosing a bad wheel bearing is fairly simple. You just jack up your ATV and what you do is you start sort of wobbling the wheel like that, up and down. And if you have that free play, right, that movement, then you know your wheel bearing is most probably bad. Also, there could be sounds coming, like knocking, grinding sounds from the wheel. So yeah, let's get through it. So we'll start by removing the wheel, 17mm nuts. So the process is fairly simple, and we will start by removing the brake caliper. So you have two screws up here, one and two at the bottom, and also you have to remove this plastic protection up here. So let's get to it. So that's one. And two. So up next we have these two bolts here. These are 14mm both. So yeah, let's get to it. So now I can take off the brake caliper and just like that, and just put it somewhere safe like that. After we remove the brake caliper, we can go to the wheel hub. So up here we have a cotter pin, right? So we just unbend it with a screwdriver like that, and then you just use your pliers and the screwdriver to force it out, just like that. So I'll use an impact for this. Just like that. And we need to remove these two bolts here. These are the brake caliper holder bolts. So both of these bolts are 15mm. So they can be quite tight, so I just use a hammer to break them loose. Just like that. So now this allows us to take out the wheel hub with the brake disc. So our wheel bearing is located right here in the knuckle. So basically we have to take out the knuckle, just set everything loose. And we're gonna start by getting loose this steering rod here. So you have a cotter pin and a nut. So first of all, we're gonna remove the cotter pin. So if you can't seem to get it out, you can just use this ball joint remover. And that's it. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna start removing this knuckle from the ball joints. Basically, you have a nut and a cotter pin right here, right? So same, we're gonna remove the cotter pin first and then unscrew the nut. So this one is also a 16mm. These can get quite tight also, that's all right. We're also gonna undo this bottom bolt here, which is holding the bottom ball joint. This one's a 15mm. I forgot to mention there's a nut at the other side, which you have to hold in place. So just like that, a bolt and a nut. So now this is the hardest part of the repair, I would say. So these ball joints, right? they are quite hard to get off the knuckle. So you need a special tool. This is a ball joint remover. See that? So you're gonna put it like that, and I'm gonna start screwing it. There is also a method when you can try to hammer it out, but I don't recommend it. And that's it. So this is off. Now the bottom one will just slide off. I'm hoping at least. So we're gonna force the bottom one with the hammer. Just like that. So here's our axle, right? So guys, here is our steering knuckle. And you can perfectly see the bearing. It's right here, and up here we have the locking ring. So let's remove that ring. Okay, so let's try to remove it with our pliers. There we go. Just like that, super easy. So now comes the fun part. We're gonna hammer out this bearing. So now I'm gonna use this socket, right? And put it into the metal part of the bearing on the inner part. And I'm gonna try to hammer it out. Let's see how it goes. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but let's hope for the best. So here is our old bearing, here's the new one. So I will write a part number in the video description and the parameters of this bearing. So if you want to get it cheaper, you can just order it online from a bearing shop. No need to go to the dealer. You can save some money like that. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna clean this bearing seat just with some good old brake cleaner. So now I'm gonna put this knuckle in the vices. So before installing the new bearing, I'm gonna grease up this bearing seat a little bit to make the installation of the new bearing much more easier. Just like that. So now we wanna align the bearing with this bearing seat just like that, so it goes in nice and even. And then I'm gonna take a piece of wood, right, and start hammering on it, just lightly. When you have the bearing even like that with the surface, right, so you just use a socket to hammer it further down. Now the only thing that remains is we have to put this locking ring back. Just like that. Alright, so now we just do everything in reverse, so basically the other way around, right? So let's put the knuckle back in its place. So just like that. And the upper one. So first of all, we're gonna fasten the top one. Remember the nut that has those edges, so we can put our cotter pin back. So once again, guys, remember cotter pins, super important. Don't forget about them. So the upper one is done. Now for the bottom one. like that, and just make sure it's nice and tight. Now steering rod like that, like that. So up here you can't really mess anything up, it's this huge nut. Right, now for your brake caliper holder. And now the brake caliper itself. Alright, so we assembled everything back. This plastic thing is also back in its place. So now we just put the wheel on. Let's see if we have any movement. So absolutely perfect. No more wobbling movement whatsoever. Just nice and stiff like it should be. So guys, and that's how you change your wheel bearing. So if this video was of any help to you, please consider subscribing to the channel. Like this video, comment if you have any questions, and also if you want to support the channel even further, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link down below. Okay guys, see you next time. Bye.